Hello friends, welcome to the TaxTower.blog, the ultimate library of tax solutions. Today's our topic is Rule 88C. Madras High Court ruled that, no recovery under Section 75(12) without following procedure under Rule 88C, for differences between GSTR1 and GSTR3B, in the case of Caterpillar India Private Limited versus the Assistant Commissioner Chennai, in case no. WP 28092 of 2023 dated September 25, 2023. Madras High Court recently ruled in the case of Caterpillar India Private Limited versus the Assistant Commissioner Chennai in case no. WP 28092 of 2023 dated September 25, 2023, highlighting the importance of complying with Rule 88C of the GST Rules, 2017 when effecting recovery based on differences between GSTR1 and GSTR3B. The Madras High Court allowed the writ petition and held that, no recovery can be effected directly based on the difference in Form GSTR1 and Form GSTR3B without complying with the requirements stated in Rule 88C. Facts of the case. Caterpillar India Private Limited. The petitioner had filed the writ petition challenging the recovery notice dated September 13, 2023, the impugned notice issued by the Revenue Department, on the ground that the procedural safeguards prescribed under Rule 88C under the GST Rules inserted vide notification number 26/2022 dated December 26, 2022 has not been complied with. The respondent, after the filing of reply by the petitioner, seeks to invoke recovery proceedings under Section 75(12) of the Central Goods and Services Tax Act, 2017 read with Rule 88C of the GST Rules. Actual issue: whether recovery proceedings due to differences in Form GSTR1 and Form GSTR3B can be effected without complying with Rule 88C of GST Rules. Court observation noted that, Instruction Number 01/2022 dated January 7, 2022 pertaining to guidelines for recovery proceedings under the provisions of Section 79 of the GST Act, in cases covered under Explanation to 75(12) of the GST Act, is a predecessor to Rule 88C of the GST Rules. Opined that, no recovery can be effected directly based on differences in Form GSTR1 and Form GSTR3B, without complying with the requirements stated in Rule 88C of the GST Rules. Held that, the impugned notice issued under Rule 79 of the GST Rules is quashed and liberty is granted to the respondent to issue appropriate notice in Form GST-DRCO1B before proceeding to recover any amount based on the difference in Form GSTR1 and Form GSTR3B. Hence the writ petition is allowed. Rule 88C of the GST Rules. Manner of dealing with difference in liability reported in Statement of Outward Supplies and that reported in return. 1. Where the tax payable by a registered person, in accordance with the Statement of Outward Supplies furnished by him in Form GSTR1 or using the invoice furnishing facility in respect of a tax period, exceeds the amount of tax payable by such person in accordance with the return for that period furnished by him in Form GSTR3B, by such amount and such percentage, as may be recommended by the Council, the said registered person shall be intimated of such difference in Part A of Form GST-DRCO1B, electronically on the Common Portal, and a copy of such intimation shall also be sent to his email address provided at the time of registration or as amended from time to time, highlighting the said difference and directing him. Section 75(12) of the GST Act. General provisions relating to determination of tax. Notwithstanding anything contained in Section 73 or Section 74, where any amount of self-assessed tax in accordance with a return furnished under Section 39 remains unpaid, either wholly or partly, or any amount of interest payable on such tax remains unpaid, the same shall be recovered under the provisions of Section 79. Explanation. For the purposes of this subsection, the expression self-assessed tax shall include the tax payable in respect of details of outward supplies furnished under Section 37, but not included in the return furnished under Section 39. Court Order. This writ petition is disposed at the time of admission by directing the respondents to issue notice that is contemplated in Form GST-DRCO1B if it has not been issued on the Common Portal, within a period of 7 days as is contemplated under Rule 88C of the GST Rules, 2017 inserted vide notification number 26/2022 dated December 26, 2022. Liberty is given to the respondents to issue appropriate notice calling upon the petitioner to explain the aforesaid difference in tax payable. The clarification/instructions/orders GST dated July 1, 2022 bearing reference Quebec 20/16/05/2021 GST/23 is precursor to insertion to the GST rules in 88C vide above mentioned. Without following the procedure prescribed, the recovery cannot be made directly based on the difference noticed in Form GSTR1 and Form GSTR3B without complying with the mandatory requirements of Rule 88C of CGST Rules, 2017. Under these circumstances, the impugned recovery notice issued under Rule 79 of the CGST Rules, 2017 is quashed with liberty to the respondents to issue appropriate notice in Form GST DRC01B before proceedings to recover any amount based on the difference noticed in Form GSTR1 and Form GSTR3B. Conclusion. This case serves as a reminder of the importance of adhering to Rule 88C of the CGST rules when initiating recovery proceedings based on differences between GSTR1 and GSTR3B. The Court emphasized the necessity of following the prescribed procedures, providing taxpayers with an opportunity to explain discrepancies, and issuing appropriate notices before recovery actions can be taken. This case reaffirms the significance of adherence to procedural safeguards in tax matters.